Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you know every time I put up a new video and or a live stream. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I had a great question the other day come through in my comments on Instagram that I totally forgot about, but I found it this morning again. The question was, with all the Tundras that I've driven over these years, which is well over 20 different variations, first gen, second gen, new gen, I've driven quite a few. But what is the ultimate #1 best Tundra I've ever driven? Now I'm going to take that a step up from what the viewer asked for and give you my top 3, leading with my absolute favorite through all of them. And I'm talking, I've driven Platinums, SR5s, SR 1794. I've driven every single trim you could think of, TRD Sport, through all the generations. So I'm going to try to give you what I think is the absolute best. But let's start with the third best. And this one may shock quite a few people. It was a 2017 white TRD off-road double cab with a 5.7 liter I-Force engine. Now this was fairly base model. It had fabric interior. The only upgrade on this truck was a TRD dual exhaust. That's all they had. Back in the day, there was a dealership near me that would let you rent out some of the newer vehicles that were available at the time, so you could go test drive it and see if you wanted to buy it. I thought it was a great program, and I took full advantage of it, especially with this truck here. So I drove this 2017 around for a few days, and at the time I owned that supercharged Platinum. Now I didn't think I would like it, but to be honest with you, there's a few things with the double cab that I've always noticed, at least in last generation. The double cab always felt less top heavy to me. It felt like it had less brake dive, and the handling always felt a little bit better. What was great about this truck is I'm coming from a Platinum with all this equipment in it. You know how the Platinum was with the moonroof. It had all the good electronics in it, memory seats, and I'm going into this double cab 2017. This is like before Toyota Safety Sense or anything like that. This is fairly base model, fabric seats, whole nine, and everything just felt lighter. The truck felt, it had a good spring to it, and that TRD dual exhaust was absolutely amazing. So going from that supercharged Tundra into this for those few days, I didn't think I would like it. Turns out I absolutely loved it. So it made #3 on the list for me. This truck MSRP had to be right around $41,000, something like that, maybe even less than that. Like I said, very base model, straight to the point. This is when the double cab would fit 5 adults, no problem. So that's got to be my #3. #2, I'm going to give a shout out to this one. This blew my mind, and I'm going to tell you why. The new 2022 TRD Pro with the I-Force Max. Well, it only comes with the I-Force Max. It comes one way pretty much. It was a great driving truck. I absolutely loved it. And coming from, I just reviewed a couple months earlier the 2022 Limited with the regular I-Force. I wasn't too thrilled with the regular I-Force, so when I hopped into this new I-Force Max, I realized, okay, this is what they're talking about when they talk about, where they want to see the Tundra going forward. When everyone says, the acceleration, the shifting, everything great about the engine, this is what they're talking about. The I-Force Max was very close in resemblance to the old supercharged Tundra I had. The only thing it lacked, I say this in a few different videos, was the sound, and the shifting was a lot different. The shifting in the I-Force Max is linear, 10-speed automatic transmission. You don't feel it shift. Everything's a lot more quiet than it used to be with the supercharged Tundra. But as far as power delivery, getting off the line, driving down the road, if you want to get around a slow car and take off in the middle lane, I-Force Max is right there. It's a great driving engine. I always like the TRD Pro suspensions. The truck felt well built. A lot of people are saying some of the 2022s have some build issues out there, but this 2022 TRD Pro felt well built, and driving it around, it was enjoyable. It felt a lot different than the old school generation Tundra, but it was a great driving truck. So that definitely makes #2 on the list. Price tag on this one would have been $68,000 MSRP, but some of these TRD Pros are going for over $100,000. But that was definitely in my top 3 of all of them that I've ever driven. Now, this is getting to what the Instagram viewer asked. What is my #1 of all of these trucks I've driven, of all of these Tundras? And that is easy, and I don't think this will ever change. Back in December 2020, Toyota gave me a press vehicle. It was a 2021 TRD Pro double cab in Lunar Rock. Now, when I bought my 2020 TRD Pro Army Green Crew Max, I didn't really think I would love it as much as I did. Coming from a supercharged Tundra, I was worried to get back in the seat of a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter V8. But if you remember, after the 2018 model year, the Tundra got rid of the transmission cooler. So there was no more transmission cooler in there. and now they had to recalibrate the engine. Well, the 2020, when I hopped in my Army Green, felt amazing. The shifting felt different. The engine just felt way peppier than what I remember from the old naturally aspirated earlier than that. Now, take it a step further, was this Lunar Rock double cab. Think of what I said about that 2017, going from Crew Max into a double cab. They always feel a little bit different. Well, that's exactly what this 2021 TRD Pro Lunar Rock felt like to me. The engine was already feeling a lot better, but now we have what felt like a lot lighter of a truck. Handling was amazing, no brake dive, just got down the road like the thing was on steroids or had 6 cups of really strong coffee. It was such an enjoyable truck to drive. And once again, this is when the double cab could fit people in the back seat. It was no big deal. You had that 6.5-foot bed, which drew a lot of people to the double cab because they didn't have the option like they do now with the Tundra. But it was just a fun truck to drive. Also, in 2020, we started to get things like the bigger screen. It went up 1 inch. There was no more fender antenna, push button start, Entune 3.0 with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It started to have a lot of stuff in it. Lunar Rock looks amazing. In 2019, they changed some aspects of the TRD Pro for the Tundra. You got BBS forged wheels. You got a different grille up front because it had Toyota Safety Sense in it. It was just a beautiful truck that was absolutely built to have a great time with, but also do the job that a truck needs to do. So absolutely number one for me has to be the double cab TRD Pro Lunar Rock. Very hard to get. That truck was extremely hard to get. I actually did a short video the other day on how the 2020 and the 2021 double cabs, you never really see many out there. The build numbers are always way lower than the Crew Max, and you don't even have a double cab option in today's generation of TRD Pro. So this was an absolute special truck. If you own a double cab TRD Pro from 2020 or 2021, you may want to hold on to it. But the truck was functional, fun, and you got some of those modern amenities that was missing in the Tundra for a long time, like the push button start, like the better Entune system. You had the Toyota app to do your connected services now if you're into that, remote start on the phone, all of that. It just kind of tied it all together. Now the MSRP of that 2021 TRD Pro double cab and Lunar Rock was probably rocking around the low, probably 52,000 range. Because the 2020 TRD Pro Crew Max was around 56, 57. So take a couple thousand off that. And that's before any dealer markups, because that was in the range where dealer markups were happening and there were chip shortage going on and all that. But absolutely the best Tundra I've ever had the pleasure of driving. Unfortunately, I did not own it. It was a press vehicle. If I owned it, I'd probably hold on to it because that would be something special down the road. Can't go wrong with Lunar Rock. Can't go wrong with the TRD Pro package. And on that double cab, the handling felt great. The acceleration was amazing. Definitely a keeper of a truck. So huge number one on that. Let me know what you think. If you've owned a lot of Tundras or even a few Tundras, tell me what your favorite Tundra is. Go down in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. I know a lot of you were probably thinking I was going to say 1794, and the 1794 package is amazing, and it is my favorite trim of Tundra. But when it ties it all together, these three definitely had the total package, so had to go that direction. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Until next time, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 @gmail.com. You guys have a great day, be safe, and be well.